Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you all are safe at home. So, today in our computer class, we will discuss some programs related to the topics which we have covered earlier. So, here we have the program to search an element in a given list. So, first of all, we are asking the list from the user through the input function. And here we have also used the eval function. The eval function will maintain the type of the list which we will enter here. So list values will be assigned to this list. In the next step, we have calculated the length of the entered list. For this, we have make the use of the invalid function length, and here we have passed this list. So length function will calculate the length of this list, and the length value of the length will be assigned to this variable length. In the third step, the user will enter the element which he wants to search. So this element is also entered with the help of the input function, and that value will be stored in this variable element. Next, we have the for loop. So it is written as per the syntax of the loop: for I in range 0, length. Suppose we have entered the list 2, 8, 11, minus 55, minus 11 and 22. So there are 6 elements. So length will be 6. It means our range will be from 0, 6. It means our loop will execute for the values of I 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So our loop will execute for 6 times from 0 to 5. Now we will compare the value of this element which we want to search with the every element of the list with the help of for loop. For the first time, the value of I will be 0. So list 0 means first element of the list. We will compare the element which we want to search is minus 11. Minus 11 is the element which we want to search. So we will compare this element with the first element of the list. So here we have used this symbol double equal to. We will check whether the element which we want to search is equal to the element which is at the first position of the list, and if these elements are equal, then we will print our result as element found at index I. It means the element which we want to search has been found at the index I. And next we have the break. Break is a jumping statement. So it is used to get the control out of the loop. Once we have found our element, then we have no need to continue our loop. It means we will break our loop. Here we have the else part of the for loop. When suppose we did not find any element from this for loop, then the else part of the for loop will execute, and here is a print statement which will tell us that the element is not found in the list. So in this way we can find any element from the given list. So here we have the output. Entered list is our this one, and element which we want to search is minus 11. So in the end we will find the result that the element minus 11 found at the index 4. Now you can see the element minus 11 is at the index 4. So with the help of for loop we will find any element from the list. Now we have the program to count the frequency of a given element in a list. Frequency means here we will calculate how many times a element is occurring in the given list. For example, here we have the list 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Here, if I want to search the frequency of the element 2, so element 2 is coming twice. So 2 has the frequency as 2 because the element 2 is coming 2 times in the list. So now we will see the coding. Here we have entered the list. The first two steps are similar to the previous program. The user will enter the list through the keyboard and we will calculate the length of the list, and here the user will enter the element whose frequency he wants to find. So that value will be stored in the element variable. So can you tell me why we have used this int? This int will maintain the data type of the entered list. If we don't write int here, then the input function will take this element as a string. So here we are maintaining the data type of the element as integer. Initially we have not counted the frequency of the element, so initially the count means the number of times the element is occurring in the list is 0. So here count is 0. In for loop, the range is from 0 to length, means 0 to 7 is our length. So the index I will take the value from 0 to 6. It means our loop will execute for 7 times. So here we compare the element with the elements which are present at the different indexes. So if we find the element in the list, then here is count plus is equal to 1. So this statement is equal to count is equal to count plus 1. If we find the element in the list, then the value of the count will be increased by 1. And these two statements belong to this for loop. It means these two statements will execute again and again up to 7 times. So 7 times these two statements will execute, and if the in every loop if we find the element in the list, then it will increase the value of the count by 1. So in this way we will calculate the total number of times a element, how many times a element occur in the list. Here is the if part. If count is equal to 0, for example, if we did not find this condition, means the element, neither of the list element is equal to the element whose frequency we want to search, then in that case the value of the count will remain equal to its initial value, means count will be 0. Then we will print the message that the element not found in the list. So string from here to here, so this is within the double quotes, so it will get printed as it is, and here the value will come from the here, whatever value we want to search is in the this variable, so that value will get printed here. For example, 2 not found in the list. If our 2 is not present in the list, then here we will get the output as 2 not found in the list. And here we have the else part of this if. Else, if we find the element in the list, we will get the output as element has frequency as count, means the element 2 has frequency as 2. So here is the output. So in this way you can find how many times an element is occurring in a given list. Students, now we will see what does the following code print for n is equal to 4. So here we have two for loops. Actually this is a nesting of the for loop. The second for loop is inside the first one. So this is called nesting of the loop. The variable I will take the values 0, 1, 2 and 3 because the value of n is 4. So the I will take the values from 0 to 3. And here we have the second loop j, and we will print the only star. We will print only star. Now we will see the output. For the 0 value of I, the second loop will execute only once for the value 0, and therefore we will get only 1 star here. For the second time, for the 1 value of the I, the second loop will execute 2 times for the value 1 for the value 0 and second time for the value 1, and here we will get two stars, and these stars are separated by a space because we have written here and is equal to double quotes start and end means space. So that's why we are there is a space between the stars. And for the third time, for the 2 value of I, the j means the second loop will execute 3 times for the values 0, 1 and 2. So in this way this pattern will be generated with this code. Here the first for loop is for the number of rows and the second loop is for the number of columns. So in this way, with the nesting of for loop, we can create any type of pattern. So in today's assignment, I will give you some pattern. So what you have to do, you have to write the code to print those patterns. That's all for today. Thank you very much.